It had been a busy day on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were arriving back at Tidmouth Sheds. As Emily settled back into her berth, the engines were talking about their day.
"How was your day, Gordon?"
"Well, Emily, I don't know what the railway would do without me," he puffed proudly. "Hauling the express every day to keep the island moving."
"But the island doesn't move, does it?"
said Percy, confused.
"No, Percy," replied Thomas. "But Gordon thinks he's so important you'd think he could control the island."
"Oh, you silly engines," retorted Gordon. "I'm simply saying that I am the strongest and fastest engine on Sodor, and the only engine who can pull the express. You, Thomas and Percy, are far too small to pull such an important train."
"What about Emily?" peeped Percy. "She's not that small."
"Ha! Yes, but I hardly think she would be strong enough," puffed Gordon.
"Well, I was an express engine back on the mainland years ago," said Emily. "Were you, Emily?" "Yes, Percy," continued Emily. "My sisters and I used to haul express trains all the time on our old railway. Oh, I did love thundering along the line, taking passengers where they needed to be, and feeling rather splendid. One of my sisters even managed to reach 82 miles per hour once."
"Ha! That's nothing to an engine like me," said Gordon grandly. "You couldn't keep up with me, Emily."
"You never know, Gordon," said Thomas. "Emily might be able to show you a trick or two."
"I hardly think so," grunted Gordon. "Now stop chatting and go to sleep. I have to pull the express in the morning."
And with that, the conversation stopped, and all the engines went to sleep. The next morning, Gordon woke up in a grumpy mood.
"I'll show those engines what it means to be an express engine," huffed Gordon.
And Gordon puffed off to wait for his coaches. When Gordon arrived at the station, he was still grumpy.
"Where are my coaches?" he puffed. "Thomas should have brought them to the station by now."
Just then, Thomas arrived with the express coaches.
"Hurry up, you,"
said Gordon impatiently.
"It's not my fault," protested Thomas. "The yard was busy, and I had to sort another train before I could get to the express coaches."
"Well, be quicker in future," grunted Gordon.
Gordon waited impatiently as the passengers climbed aboard. The guard blew his whistle, and Gordon started off with a jolt.
Come along, puffed Gordon. "Express coming through."
"Whoa, be careful, Gordon," called his driver. "You'll break something at this rate." But Gordon didn't listen. Gordon was still grumpy that afternoon on his return journey when...
"Ouch!"
exclaimed Gordon.
"What was that?"
"Well, we won't be going anywhere," said his driver. "You've blown one of your cylinder caps and can't pull the train anymore."
"Oh, the indignity!" Gordon sighed.
"I'll send for help," said his fireman. Meanwhile, Thomas was shunting at Knapford Station and saw Sir Topham Hatt leaving his office, looking distraught. "What's wrong, sir?" asked Thomas.
"Gordon's broken down," explained Sir Topham Hatt. "We need another engine to take the express."
"What about Emily, sir?" puffed Thomas. "She said she used to haul express trains on the mainland, but Gordon dismissed it and wasn't very nice to her."
"A splendid idea, Thomas," smiled Sir Topham Hatt. "And don't you worry. I will have a word with Gordon when I see him."
Meanwhile, at Kelsthorpe, Emily was pulling a goods train and had to stop at a signal when the station master walked up. "Gordon has broken down," he told her. "Can you leave your trucks here, then go and find him and pull the express?"
Me pull the express? Yes, sir, she said excitedly.
And with that, Emily went off to uncouple her trucks before setting off to find Gordon.
"Hello, Gordon," peeped Emily. "What's happened here? Are you being the best express in the world? I am surprised. But we must get these passengers home."
Gordon just looked at his buffers and didn't say a word, as Emily went to shunt him out of the way.
"Right then," said Emily. "Here we go."
Emily started with a great heave. Her driving wheel slipped, but she continued to pull with great might and got the train moving. Gordon looked on in amazement.
I've done it! I've done it!" Emily puffed proudly.
Stations and bridges flew by, and people waved as she sped along. Thomas was at the washdown as Emily shot past.
"Well done, Emily! I knew you could do it. Keep going." "Thank you, Thomas."
Emily arrived at the end of the line, and she'd made good time. Sir Topham Hatt was there to greet her. "Well done, Emily. How do you feel pulling an express train again?"
"It was great, sir, but it's certainly been a busy day."
"Well, you deserve a nice long rest in the sheds."
"Thank you, sir,"
beamed Emily with pride. That evening the other engines had all arrived back at Tidmouth Sheds, and were telling each other about their day's work. It wasn't long before Emily was asked about her day.
"Emily, what about you?" asked Thomas. "Did you enjoy pulling the express?" "Yes, Thomas, I did," said Emily. "Getting to race along the line looking splendid makes an engine feel very important."
Just then Gordon spoke up. "I'm very sorry for the way I spoke to you, Emily," he apologised. "You do make a very fine express engine indeed." Emily smiled.
"Thank you, Gordon."
"Very nicely said, Gordon," Sir Topham Hatt added. "Emily did make a very splendid express engine. I've had many passengers tell me what a great job she did today."
"Thank you, sir," smiled Emily.
"If I may, sir," asked Gordon, "does this mean that Emily will be taking over the express from now on?"
"Of course not, Gordon," replied Sir Topham Hatt. "But it's always good to have engines who can pull it, just in case you're ill or needed elsewhere."
"3 cheers for Emily!" cried Thomas.
Hip, hip, hooray!
"Just don't go moving the island, Gordon," peeped Percy. "I like it where it is, thank you."
Everyone laughed. And even though he felt a little embarrassed, Gordon couldn't help but laugh too.